Okay, well, we opened this thing up. The RCA TV I recently acquired, black and white set from the probably early 50s ad follow-up video. It's not that filthy in here. It's definitely dusty for sure. It looks like this thing has been tampered with and opened up a few times over its lifespan. As I said, it was last in use in 1970. I purchased it for $35 from the family of who originally had it. This guy's grandfather bought it. And I think that's not original. Somebody wired in a fuse holder of some sort. I bet the fuse is blown, but I'll have to check. This thing does indeed have a 1B3 GT. There's a label there which is drooping off, but I was able to tell. This thing has a warranty on it, although I highly suspect that that warranty has long since been has elapsed. Picture tube is a pretty interesting one, a roundy, as they all were back then. Some very rugged looking inductors. I haven't seen something that rugged before. That's pretty interesting, but man, is this filthy. Like, on the sides anyways, there's a lot of cobwebs. This is more of a cobweb set. Looks like all the tubes are there, although I kind of wonder how many of these are good. They definitely look like they might be original, I suspect. It is Dust City, and there is no asbestos in this one either that I can tell, as far as like insulation anyway. The high voltage area appears to be loose, like someone unscrewed it. So my suspicion about the high voltage rectifier tube, the 1B3 GT, being bad is probably indeed correct. What in the world are we looking at here? Can I just... Ah, I'm right. Look at that. The 1B3 GT is gonzo. Now, the flyback. How is the flyback here? Yeah, it looks a little crusty, but it's not bad. Is it really just the 1B3 GT that failed? Looks like it. It's gone. So I was dead on right. I didn't even turn the TV on yet or even open it up, and I was already right about the primary cause of failure. I just hope nothing else got taken out with it. But definitely had the high voltage rectifier tube fail. There might be some other problems with it, but that's the primary thing that happened. So I'm going to do the usual, clean it up, do a thorough inspection. I'll recap it, test the CRT to see how bad or good it is, and just kind of look around here. Why is there glitter in there? How would glitter have gotten in? Whatever. This thing is definitely... Some repairman did try getting into it. This guy must have not remembered the whole story. Definitely has not been recapped. I can see like a wax paper or electrolytic paper can cap over there. That's got to go. There's a few can caps. Actually, there's one right over there, right under the CRT. And those are all going to have to go. The tubes might be a little loose. This is interesting. So there's a metal rod that goes out, and that's to protect the neck from getting hit and whacked when this thing was being moved. That's really good. I'm very impressed that RCA had the foresight to do that. That's not normal for TVs to have that protection. These wires were all disconnected and dangling around. Looks like the anode is probably crusty, like the Krusty Krab. So yeah, just in summary, the high voltage rectifier tube probably failed. That's why the picture was going on and off back in 1970. The sound still worked, and I'm sure by this point it's going to need a recapping. It's not just going to be a simple tube changeover, and it's going to need to get cleaned, because high voltage and dust does not do very well. As I've said before, there's a chassis. This is 2-T-60 RCA Victor. It looks like that this thing is indeed going to need some significant work. The power plug's missing. Not really sure what happened to it. It didn't come with any documentation otherwise. Not really much else to say, because this is a lot similar to the other RCA, except it's a lot nicer and it's in probably better shape. But it does need a thorough vacuuming with the dust shop vac. Nice thing about tube electronics is that you don't really have to worry about electrostatic discharge like you do with solid state stuff. So go ahead and just start cleaning away. Here's our little area down there where the spiders had their party. This TV's probably like 1950, 51. I'm still looking for a date. Haven't really found any dates yet, but it's very nice looking. Just very, very good condition. For, being in, and it was obviously stored in a nice air-conditioned, temperature-controlled home for its whole life. Original home. Never got moved. But clearly, it has been modified. Someone was working on this. Somebody was. Maybe it was his grandfather. Maybe some repairman came in and just did this repair. This repair was definitely not done in the 50s. It was probably done in the mid to late 60s, maybe, or maybe it was 1970. Somebody though did mess with this and probably just said, you know what, to heck with it in 1970, because these TVs were considered junk in 1970. I mean, this was before 50s nostalgia was a fad quite yet. Not really a fad, I guess. I mean, I think a lot of this stuff's pretty cool, but yeah, this is going to be another extended project once I get the other stuff fixed and out of the way, but this will be very, very a big pleasure to work on. This is a TV that a lot of older folks would absolutely love to be working on. I actually prefer colored tabletop tube sets, but this is certainly a nice one indeed. And a lot easier to work on. It's a lot less complex than the color tube circuits. That stuff is just crazy complex. And after working on a color tube set and fixing it, this will be a cinch comparatively. All right, that's all I have to say. It's a very different design with a high voltage cage.